It's Jason with Hardy Life Outdoors. I'm here in Southeast Ohio at the Lazy H, where it is another beautiful fall day. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to combat squirrels on your feeder. I've had this property for about 2 years, and I have successfully kept the squirrels off of my feeder that entire time. If you look behind me, you can see, this isn't a city feeder. This isn't someplace where there are no squirrels. I'm out in the country where there are lots of squirrels, lots of wildlife. And I've had some good success. I see people ask this question all the time about how they protect their feeders. And I'm going to show you what I've done. Before I get to that, I'll give you a little bit of background on me and I guess my relationship with the birds. I've talked about this before, but I have had birds and bird feeders as part of my life since I was, at least a toddler. My great grandma, I remember sitting in her dining area and looking out the window at the birds. As I grew up, we built bird houses and bird feeders that we had in the backyard. When I went off to college, I think the only time I didn't have a feeder was a period where I was in a apartment and I was, 3 stories up. But not long after that, I moved into an apartment that I was on the 2nd floor. There was a tree right outside my window, and I would open the window and hang a feeder in the top of that tree to get the birds to come in. So birds have just been something that I've always had in my life, and it's one of those things I just enjoy watching them. I love the colors. I love the variety, and it's something that really anyone can enjoy. You don't have to go any further than your front porch or your backyard to see the birds. So something that I just absolutely love, and I love sharing with others. So let me take you over, show you my setup, and give you some ideas on how you might be able to get the squirrels off your feeder. So when I first got this property, and I apologize that it's a little dark here, I'm in the shade, this was my approach to feeding the birds. Hanging them off the deck. And I wanted them close because there's a sliding glass door here. I want to be able to sit inside and easily see the birds. What I quickly found was I had birds all over the deck, and that made an absolute mess. And in no time, I had squirrels running up and down the railing here, hanging on these feeders and emptying them in no time at all. So I quickly realized this solution was not going to be the solution for me. And I had to find something that got these feeders far enough away from the deck that I wouldn't have squirrels and birds up here. But also, when you look at the trees, I wanted to make sure that the squirrels couldn't easily jump from the deck or a tree to the feeders as well. So I had to look around and really get creative on how I was going to solve this problem. In front of me, the ground slopes away. So anything I did had to be up in the air quite a ways too, because I wanted to be able to see it out my sliding glass door and off of my deck very easily. So that's what led me to looking around and coming up with the solution that I put in place. So let's go take a look at it now. I think you can see it behind me, but this is the solution I came up with. I moved the feeders to a wire and put it up high. I think there's a little more to it than just a wire, because I know a lot of people use a wire for hanging their feeders. These feeders are probably, between 15 and 20 feet off the ground. So the challenge I ran into was, how was I going to get feeders up and down? So I'll show you that here in just a minute. But the basics of what I put in place, I've got about a 50-foot length of wire that goes from tree to tree. I've screwed a hook in to this end. The other end, I've just got it looped around the tree. You might say, my squirrels would figure that out. They're going to go up the tree, they're going to go out the wire, and they're going to be all over my feeders again. So I've seen that happen as well, and that was my first thing I need to figure out how to combat. So what I added was a couple of big saucers, so that anything that goes out that wire has to figure out how to get over or around that saucer in order to get to my feeders. They're just plastic saucers like you would find the water tray that goes under a plastic flower pot. So I went and bought a couple of those. I think I paid, $10 to $15 for each of them. They weren't terribly expensive. And then I put them on the wire, and I used a wire clamp on each side. That keeps it from moving on the wire. Again, these are plastic. I am sure that a squirrel or a raccoon could chew through them. But what I found is, because, and this is my theory, because my feeders are out in the middle, I don't believe the squirrels and the raccoons have figured out that they haven't associated the trees with where the food is. So I have never had a squirrel out on that wire. For as many hours as I've sat and watched it, not once. I'll see them down on the ground. They're eating under the feeders. I'm fine with them doing cleanup. But I've never seen one go up the tree. I've never seen one go out the wire trying to figure out how to actually get to the feeders. So for me, it's worked really well. And I can tell you, every time I have someone out here and they see this for the first time, they're asking me, can I take a picture of that? How'd you do that? Everybody likes this solution, and it's worked great. Again, 2 years, I haven't seen a squirrel up on the feeders. So how did I connect my feeders to the wire? Up there on the wire, I've used wire clamps and an S-hook. So I put the clamp on the wire, put the S-hook in there, tighten it down nice and tight, and the S-hook hangs there. They do move around a little. I can, I'll get some close-up video of that they hang sideways. As soon as I get a little bit of weight on them, hang something on it, it turns and they hang perfect on the wire. So I went through, I spaced them out so I had room between my feeders, and I just applied multiple S-hooks with a clamp to that wire, and I can hang my stuff on it. So let me grab the pole. I'll show you what I did with the pole, and then we'll hang up a couple feeders to show you how easy it is to get these things hung. All right, this is just a 10-foot section of metal conduit, and I picked it up, I drilled a hole in it, put a hook on it, and it works great. As you get up there and the feeder's full, it can get a little bit heavy, but it works like a charm. So let me hang a couple feeders. I'll show you how easy they go up. We'll start with the heaviest one. I'm going to turn around. I like having there we go. That's one. This one's the lighter of the two. It's going to go up even easier. Much easier to handle. Get it right up there to the wire, slide it over. Just like that, they're both on. I can swap those all out in 2 or 3 minutes, fill them up, put them back on. Take a look in the comments. I'm going to try to put a list of materials there for you, and actually I'll post a list of materials right here while I'm talking. But I'll give you some links to where you can pick these items up and purchase them for yourself. I've been real happy with it. Again, 2 years, not a single squirrel. So I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, please leave me a question. I'll get back to you as quick as I can to let you know the answers and help you along. So thanks. One of the things that I like to say is outdoors is always in season, and the birds are part of that outdoor season for me. Thanks, and have a great day.